So my mind works really weird. If you just did like a stream of consciousness of like what I'm thinking about during the day, it would probably be more entertaining than the best movies that are out. But I'll give you an example. I was thinking about how crappy my car is, and I ended up disproving the Drake equation a couple nights ago. Let me tell you what happened. I was leaving work, and my car has been making this rattling sound, and the muffler, I think a bracket fell off or something, and then also, I must have accidentally hit my hood lever, and the hood had come, like, loose. Like, you have to hit a thing underneath the hood to open it all the way up, but it was, like, loose, and it was, like, bouncing around and making this noise. I thought there was something wrong with my car. I was like, man, this car, I got it in 2004, right? So it's probably, like, 19 years old now. So I need to get a new car. But I want to run this one as long as I can, drive it till the wheels fall off, whatever, right? Then I was like, I need this car to last me until electric cars are common. Because I don't want to, buy a new gas vehicle and then it switch over, and then I'm stuck with this brand new gas-powered vehicle. So then that got me thinking about, how long is it going to be till, Teslas or whatever. There's going to be other companies, obviously, besides Tesla, make electric cars. Because I know Ford F-150s, or they're making those Lightnings and everything now. I'm like, the reason it's not popular is because we don't have the infrastructure yet, and you have all these oil companies that are manipulating the governments to make it not viable yet, or to not put money into the infrastructure. So everybody has to keep buying fossil fuels. So then I'm thinking about how would you do it? Obviously, the best way is probably to put solar panels everywhere and put them over the top of roads and parking lots, because they've already been paved flat, so there's no trees there to block out the sun. So we'd have roads that have like a hood, like a tunnel. They'd all have solar panel roofs on them. And I'm thinking about what happens if somebody hits a pole and then somebody has a wreck on the side of the road. Does it mess up all the solar panels? How much is that going to cost? I'm thinking about that. And then I think, is there something in between that? Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, coal. All our electricity. If you have electric vehicles, the electricity comes from coal right now. So you'd have... I'm thinking about, fossil fuels. You got oil, you got coal. They're limited. We're going to run out of them because, if we were burning things off of hydrogen or, water, it would all be converted back into itself because the Earth's gravity is going to hold everything here. But, you use a fossil fuel, it gets burned up, turns into smoke, and it never turns back into oil eventually. And the whole reason, I think, somebody said this was wrong. I thought it was the dinosaurs and the plants from the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, whatever that event was called, the KT asteroid or something, right? I thought that's what caused coal and oil to be formed. It's oil is from reptiles or whatever, dinosaurs. It's basically the mass of animals. What is that called? Organic, crabs and biomass. The biomass of all the animals getting killed and crushed under all this pressure of the asteroid. Well, that's just a shockwave. They didn't all get crushed underneath an asteroid. That was out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. But that's where a lot of the oil is too. So that might have been. I don't know how it works. The coal, I've heard, was trees getting crushed under the earth folding on top of it and pressurizing it, and you have coal. And if you have a lot of pressure, then that coal forms diamonds, and that's how we get diamonds. But diamonds end up in rivers, so I don't know if it how it gets back into the rivers. So I'm thinking about fossil fuels. So that made me think wait a minute, that means this whole idea about extraterrestrial life, aliens, if they didn't, the only reason we have most of our shit today, right? Computers, cars, and all this is because we use fossil fuels. Also, I was thinking about the price of electric cars, how it would go down, because the price of supercomputers, they used to be the size of a whole room, and the first desktop computers, I think they were $50,000 or something, and now they're smartphones you can fit in the size of your hand. And desktops are $1,000. And it's all affordable and cheap for everybody. So I figured eventually electric cars will be the same way. Especially if we ran off water-powered cars or hydrogen-powered cars. Although you need electricity to like split the hydrogen off the water, so I don't know if that'd be more or less efficient. So we gotta have solar power basically. I was thinking about like the aliens, right? If aliens, like even if they had ore from metal, right? You need coal to forge the metal, right? So if they didn't have like an apocalyptic event that hit their planet, then they would never have fossil fuels. They wouldn't have coal or oil, right? So the Drake equation is, it's supposed to tell you the number of civilizations which humans could communicate with, and it takes the rate of star formation times the fraction of stars that have planets times the average number of planets that could support life per star with planets times the fraction of life supporting planets that develop life times the fraction of planets with life that develop intelligence times the fraction of intelligent civilizations that develop communication times the length of time that civilizations can communicate. So it takes each little step. Like you have to have life, you have to have smart life, you have to have life that develops communication powers. That's where you kind of get, if they don't have an apocalyptic event, if they don't have oil and coal, I was trying to imagine, like, would there be an alien race that could somehow harness solar power without coal and oil first? Like, could you skip it? And how would you would need, like, crystals or something, right? To, like, burn metal ore to them, or how would you even do it? I mean, you could make your own coal with trees, I guess, make charcoal. Maybe you could do it. But still, if you want to have, like, transportation without oil, I'm like, how would you even... If they figured out how to use the hydrogen, then I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like having fossil fuels is a huge advantage to civilizations developing the ability to communicate through stars and across space, especially. Just driving around on the planet, like being mobile, you have to have oil for that, right? Because we've only done everything in the last 150 years because we've had planes and oil and things to like power things. But look, we would still be like cavemen if we hadn't figured that out. So the Drake equation, I believe, is wrong. You got to put something in there about the fraction of planets that have meteor impacts that created fossil fuels. That would be like one of the things you also got to divide it up against, I think. So there's probably less intelligent life out there than we think. And I figured this out because my car was rattling and making noise.